Let's suggest that you actually raised the idea with the Taliban, because the impression that we're getting from the White House, from you, from the Secretary, from Secretary Austin, is that you didn't even raise the issue with the Taliban about possible renegotiation, even for a minor amount of time, because the president had basically decided already that he was going to keep to the withdrawal on that timeline,
and the president,
no matter what.
And the president came to that decision,
but so
knowing what the consequences would be.
Well, how did you know what the consequences would have been if Zal or someone else didn't actually raise it with the Taliban and say, "Hey, what do you think about if we renegotiate?" Did that actually happen?
We've had,
did that ever happen?
The secretary referred to this yesterday in his testimony that Barbara just read.
Did it ever happen that you brought up with the you keep saying, well, we're under the distinct impression that, or our understanding was that, well, did you directly raise it with the Taliban?
The Taliban made it very clear to us.
In response to what?
In the contest of diplomacy and discussions, the Taliban made it very clear to us that if the United States would seek to renege on the agreement, that they would not continue to abide by the commitment that they had made.
Don't even try, so you never did, right? Is that right?
It was made very clear to us that there was no ability to renegotiate an agreement that the last administration signed on to that stipulated quite clearly that if American troops remained on the ground, that they would once again become the subject of attacks and aggression.
So it was never raised with them, the possibility of renegotiating.
Matt, I'm telling you, they made it.
I know that they made it clear, but did they make it clear in response to you bringing it up, or did they just say, don't even think about it, and then you guys said, okay, we won't?
I'm not going to detail the diplomacy. What I will tell you is that we were very confident that if our troops remained on the ground past that deadline, that they would be subject to the sort of targeted violence that this president and others in this administration were not willing to risk or even countenance.
Why not try to ask it? Was it not worth asking to renegotiate it?
Christina, I'm not speaking to the ins and outs of the diplomacy.
This is not ins and outs. This is like a basic question we're trying to get the answer to. Either they didn't do it, as Matt just said, either they didn't do it in reaction to you asking, or you didn't ask because you didn't think it was an issue. Can you just tell us which one of those it is?
The secretary spoke to this yesterday. We had every reason to believe, and if you look at the Taliban's own public statements, you would have every reason to believe that American troops would have been the target of violence once again if we did not adhere to that deadline that the previous administration signed us up to.
So it's accurate to say the administration didn't try to negotiate it?
Some on both sides of